Test, test, test. Welcome, race fans. This is Ron and
Todd.
We're here with you live at Big Wizard TV. Let's show you what we got going on. You'll be surprised. See, we're right here. I'm not lying.
Human beings, not artificial intelligence.
Hey, there's a first time for everything, Todd.
We're allegedly human, I guess.
You can consider yourself that if you want. All right, let's see. We got to get this angled here just a titch this way.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah, you're the pretty one.
I know. I got to be front and center. Hey, we're sporting the race shirts tonight for race night. Big shout out to our racers at the Daytona 500, which you're going to be watching later.
Which we have not seen yet.
Don't say anything in the chat about who won, because we're going to be watching that post-race. Right now, the big doings, and I hope... Is the audio from the cars coming through too loud? Okay. We hope that here at the race, we will see some awesome action, and we'll be so enthralled in what's going on that we're not going to care what happens at Daytona until
this race is over.
Until this race is over.
I don't think you have to think that that's going to happen. I think it's pretty well guaranteed.
Well, you know who I'm rooting for? Jimmy Johnson in the Lowe's car. What was that? 8 years ago?
8 years ago.
Yeah.
9.
Well, you're sporting.
I'm sporting
Mr.
Tony Stewart.
Mr. in the booth. At least Jimmy's on the track.
Well, you know, smoke's done. Smoke's done. You know,
smoke's in the booth.
Smoke's in the booth.
Yeah, like us, we're in the booth. I guess we're done. Does that mean we're done?
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Hey, want to do a big shout out before we get started here to our sponsors. Stair Fittings Incorporated. Hey, if you're looking for anything for your stairs, you got to call up Karen over there at Stair Fittings Inc. It's orders.stairfittings.com is how you get a hold of them. These guys are great people. They will take care of everything you need for your stairs. Installation, design. They can sell you just the parts. They can sell you all the pieces and have somebody come put it in. They're awesome. They're great. Also, none less important, Grandpa's Kitchen. Primary sponsor for Big Wizard TV now for 3 years running. Oh, we got radio chat.
It's all good.
It's qualifying time. We are in qualifying. And let me do something to help you see where we're at, because since we're sitting here yakking, we will switch the last lap. This is not lap. This is.
Oh! A little bit of touch.
Yeah, and that's Josh. That's Josh going around. Where is my... There it is. We're going to switch this to fastest lap time up at the top. So let me tell you just quickly before we introduce all of our sponsors and talk about how awesome everybody is, because that's going to take a minute. Sponsors, Stair Fittings Incorporated, of course, grandpaskitchen.com, awesome stuff. Gluten-free flour, gluten-free products over there. Check them out, grandpaskitchen.com. They are incredible. I've had this stuff. I've had cookies, brownies, muffins.
Yep, and a partridge in a pear tree. I mean,
they all sound good. They all taste good. They all taste great.
We're going to have a king cake in just a little bit.
A king cake made with gluten-free flour.
Made with Grandpa's Kitchen flour.
Awesome. That is incredible.
If you can bake with it, if you have a recipe for it, bake it with Grandpa's Kitchen flour. You'll love it.
All right, there you go. There you have it. Also, JNR Craftworks, been on board with making trophies for us for quite a while, but are now the sponsor of the JNR Craftworks GT3 Contender Series, which just finished up here on Twitch just a few minutes ago. Catch that replay over on YouTube on tv.bigwizard.com, and that'll be out there. Also, Dragonfire Artistry,
yes,
helping out with some artwork and doing some trophy work.
Do wonderful stuff.
Make some awesome goodies for your, like, almost anything you can think of she can make. Or paint. Or create.
She's a talented young lady, and it doesn't have anything to do with the fact that she's my daughter-in-law, but I'll tell you, she is very, very talented.
I realize how non-biased you are with your family.
I am a non-biased individual.
Yeah.
I love everybody, but I love my family just a little bit more.
Let's see, what do we got here? We got that one's good. This one we don't need tires on. Let's see, driver info. Let's go tire compounds off, and I'd like to turn Carbrand on. There we go. Hey, there we go.
Hey, look at that.
Now we can see who's driving what. Let's talk about where we are and what we're doing. This is East to West Racing. East to West Racing is the host for tonight's action, and we've got a 18 drivers on the racetrack. Really good turnout here for the race, and these guys are champions through and through. You know, we only have 3 races left in the season. Let me go through right now, real quickly, the points. Now, this is going to be a multi-race night. We're doing qualifying right now, and the qualifying actually awards points. We run IMSA-style points, so 35 points for the qualifying winner, the pole sitter, and then 32, 30, 28, 26, 25, down to 30th place. Even 30th points, which there's only 18 of them. Everybody gets points here for qualifying. Then we're going to do a sprint race, which will be a 10 or 11 lap. I'm going to go look. I've got all this information. You'd think I'd have been ready.
You don't have to remember it all, just because you set it up yourself. You don't have to remember it.
10 laps on the sprint. That'll be about 16, 17 minutes long. And then we're going to jump right into a feature race after just a 3-minute warm-up for these guys, just to give them a break, you know, after that sprint before the regular feature. 25-lap feature will be about 40 minutes. And what's really cool is the finishers of the sprint race, the top 8 drivers, so almost half this field, they're going to reverse order.
And that always causes just a little bit of chaos in the start, and a little bit of chaos among the drivers themselves. There's a lot riding on the line for finishing that sprint race.
Yes, it is. Good spot. A lot of points. Only the top 10 get points in the sprint. Top driver gets 100 points, and then it drops down 10 points apiece down to 10th, which gets 10 points. So everybody's scrapping for points in that. And yet, if you finish 8th, you get 30 points, and you start on the pole.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting dynamic. You'll see a couple drivers land right in there and hang right in that P7, P8 spot, so they get a really good finishing or a really good starting spot. 9th, no bueno. You start in 9th.
I seem to remember a time that you were bucking for 8th and almost made it, and then
ran into somebody.
You ran into some guy.
I don't know who it was. Some guy in a Ferrari. I don't know.
Checkers and wreckers.
Yeah. Well, that's us. So far, we've got, 15 races of the 18-race season are done. So 15 out of 18 complete. Morgan Teggy leads the points with 5,942. 500 points back, Philip Scott. Now, 500 points, you can get 500 points in a weekend. If you win qualifying, you win the sprint race, and you win the feature. You have to run 0x, no incident points, in the sprint and the feature. Fastest lap in both. I think if you do all that, you can get 500 points.
Well, and which sounds just amazingly impossible, but the right day, the right setup, and the right concentration, any of these guys that are at the top will probably.
I've seen it happen. I've actually seen it happen. Just once. But I have seen that.
It wasn't by you, was it?
Let me think. No. So Morgan Teggy's out front. Philip Scott 500 points back in second. Richard Hibbs in third, only 144 points, and then Brandon just 24 points in the fourth. Jason Rabe is miles back in fifth. So the top 4 with 3 to go are really going after this championship. It's really among those 3. Morgan Teggy has. He's up there and he's got it under control. If he races clean and races well for the next 3 races, it's his championship. But that doesn't mean these guys aren't gunning for him.
Well, and it also doesn't mean that there can't be anything that happens in front of him. As he's coming up through traffic, which he probably will be, there's all kinds of opportunity for something to go just slightly wrong, which could cause all kinds of problems for his day.
Absolutely, and I've seen it happen where he's had an incident in the sprint race, throws him back in the back of the pack, 20th place or 18th tonight, and ends up starting in the back of the field, which doesn't help at all. I mean, that he did move up and ended up, I think, on the podium in that race, but he didn't. But just an impressive guy. I mean, Morgan, you'll see him tonight. He's out here on track. He's in the 07. There he is right there in the Colt 45 painted. That has some fueled by malt stuff on there from Colt 45. It also has, let's see, I can actually look at his car and watch him. And he has a different number in this series, so let me find his car. There it is. He's got the old Stair Fittings Inc. logo on the side there. He's got, he's usually running something about Cleveland Beamer on his car. He's got a butt kicker sponsor on there. I don't see Cleveland Beamer unless it's, oh yeah, it's on the rear wing.
Yeah.
It's on the rear wing. Yeah, he's got, and then he's got the East to West Racing logos on the wingtips. He's got them all in there. He's got them all in there. So yeah, that's our points leader, Philip Scott in the '99 car.
Oh, a little bit of spin on there for the.
Whoop, that was Philip. No, Philip's not on track right now. Okay, all right, fine. Come on, cameras.
22 seconds left in qualifying, so these guys are just
pretty much
kind
done,
of finishing things off. And
they don't get to finish their lap. They got to get across the line before the clock ticks down, or it's over. So actually, we got 17. David Visser, I just noticed, is 18. He is our race control tonight, so he is in another booth in race control. So you won't see him on racetrack. So 17 drivers. Anyway, Morgan Teggy, Philip Scott, Rich Hibbs, Brandon Dooley, Jason Rabe, Adam Novotny, Julian Lockwood, myself, but I'm not on track tonight. So, hey, who's not going to be in 8th tonight? Chris Springer, Todd Schwartz, Joe Fierro, Josh Bailing, Alex Good, Jeff Wyatt, who's missing, Sean Williams, Michael Mooney, JP, Jeff Peters, he's also missing.
That's a nice-looking paint job.
And we got, after that, we got TJ Allman, Rick Wishon, and Richard Wishon, Ryan Fry, Vincent Tramontana, Kyle.
I think I know the same guy.
Kyle Robinson and Brett Elder. Like I said, we got 17 on the track. We're going to try to keep up with the action tonight. Josh in the number 1. He's running the Audi. Looks like the Audis have the lap times. Now we're going to switch this over to not fastest lap, but last lap, because this little timer up at the top, little roller at the top, is really good to kind of gauge what the drivers are doing. It runs by in order of who's where on the racetrack, and will give you their last lap time. During qualifying, shows you who's up, their best time. But we got that going now. So GT3, let's talk about the cars. Audi's up front, 1, 2, 3 on the front.
That's a little different than our race, but one of the things we noticed too in the race we just ran, the contender race, that the Audis use fuel just a little bit differently.
They do.
And so I'm not sure with them being up front. Of course, in the sprint race it won't matter much; it's not that long. But in the feature race, that may play into this a little bit.
Right. So qualifying. Oh, that's not the order. I think Kyle's up front. So the order we're seeing on the screen, yeah, Kyle's up front. So the BMWs are actually up front. Or is that Kyle in a Porsche? Kyle is in a Porsche. Here we go. The green light's about to go. It's green, and we are going. The sprint race is underway. Kyle gets off clean. Brandon slips the tires, and that allows Rich Hibbs in the 15 car to get by Morgan Teggy alongside around turn 1. Turn 1 hairpin. Kyle Robinson stays out front. Brandon comes back on Rich, but not enough. Rich taking the second spot away. Everybody's pretty clean off the start so far.
Good to see, but they're all nose to tail. This is tight racing right from the get-go. Everybody's after everything that they can possibly get.
Yeah, points on the line. Championship going. All right. So back in the pack here, this is Morgan, and Morgan going for second here. There he goes. Ooh. Comes around, dives down on the inside of turn 8 there. That's a pretty high-speed corner. Most people break too much for that one. Oh, and a little slide on exit gives Rich an advantage back around to the... Trying to get his nose around the outside there, but not able to do so. Now diving down into turn 11. One of the tightest...
A little bit of wiggle there, too.
Tightest corners on the racetrack. Cold tires.
Cold tires always make for that first lap. And it surprises me that they're driving as aggressively as they are right now. Like I say, having just finished this race, this is a tricky course.
Yeah, definitely.
And as tight as they are, this is the kind of race that makes you really pay attention.
Yeah, especially as close as these guys are. You're right. That is definitely intense. There's Brandon Dooley here in 4th spot. He's 4th in points and 4th on the track. There's the timing chart. Now you can see it get updated.
All right.
Have to go around and get the lap done first before it updates. So first lap, you have to watch the relative. Around the screen for you, we've got order and fastest lap up on the top of the page. That's scrolling by. Tells you we're in the heat race, and the heat race is lap 2 of 10. Don't worry about the time. Time doesn't matter in the heat race. Just number of laps. And then we have the lap counter in the top center, along with where the flags go. Track map on the top left, and the standings on the top right that update every time you go across the start-finish line. Bottom right is your relative screen, so the car we're watching is the one that has the gold line across it. Right now, Brandon Dooley is P4, and you can see he is 0.2 seconds ahead of Josh Balin in that number 1 Audi.
Well, and Kyle Robinson in that Porsche all by himself up front, with everybody else trying to fight their way through these second, third, and fourth spots. He's getting a little bit of a run and looking just very much in command. Very comfortable with his lead right now.
1.7 after just a lap and a half, 1.7 seconds. He's coming around to finish up lap 2. And definitely looking strong there. Kyle is one of the best racers that I have ever seen in sim. He's got to be top 3 of the drivers I've ever seen that I've raced with, personally raced with in sim racing. He is absolutely phenomenal. Being able to drive this Porsche is a testament to it in itself. The Porsche is one of those cars they say loves you until it kills you. Kind of like you and I.
Yeah, well, there is that. There is that.
We're friends until I want to kill you.
It's only happened twice and it was on track, so...
It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. So Kyle Robinson out front with 28. We got Rich Hibbs in P2. No, sorry, Morgan Teggy sliding through turn 1 there. Turn 3 in P2. Followed by Rich Hibbs in P3. Brandon Dooley in P4. Josh Balin right behind. These guys are all, these 2, 3, 4, 5 together.
Yeah.
Just a little gap back here now, just a second and a half, a little less than a second and a half back to the 99 of Philip Scott. Now he's running with the Apex Predators race team. You can see that paint job. You'll see it around the track. There's 3 of them out there. They use different colors, but that same scheme. Unfortunately, with the Mercedes, the front of the Mercedes is so big you can't see the mouth on the Apex Predator. You see it around the headlights, the little corner lights there. But look at this, Richard Wishon. Man, Richard is actually new to our league. He's been in our league for maybe half of this season. Young kid. His dad also races out here. When we get down in the order, we'll go talk about him too. But Richard is one of these kids who showed up. He's running here in the 974 Audi. He showed up and he was just barely figuring it out. You know, he's just barely figuring out how to run these things. And then all of a sudden, he's flying.
Yeah.
And he's running guys down like Philip Scott, who's won championships in our league. You know, and Josh and Brandon, who's a multiple championship winner. Rich Hibbs has won championships. Morgan has won championships. I mean, these guys are no slouches, and he's new, and he's kind of a rookie. He's right up there. You know, right up there near the front, doing really good.
Well, one of the things you've talked about, and that I've experienced as I've been getting more into iRacing, is that it takes a while before everything starts to click. But when it does, then you start to be able to make all of the little adjustments, the fine-tuning adjustments in your race setup and in your race performance that allows you to just be able to start keeping up. So, hats off for him being able to do that as quickly as he has.
Absolutely. He's quite a talented kid, and glad to have him on the track with us. Let's see, 974, that's Richard. Ryan Fry. Now, Ryan is a buddy of mine. I actually work at the same company as Ryan. We used to work in the same division, but he's better than everybody else now. I hope you're watching, Ryan. Oh, we got some smoke. We got smoke. Where there is smoke, there is spin. We have anybody around?
Yeah, we do. Right there up against the.
Oh, was that the guy I was just talking about how great he is? Oh,
974.
That was Richard. Goes back in the pack, hits the wall. Oh, you can see the damage on the front there. Hey, replay man, can we get a little shot of that, maybe?
is that
All
good
right, let's
battle
see if
that
we
we've
can
been
watch.
talking
Yeah,
about?
he's right there, trying to get ahead of Phillip there, and he gets into this corner. That is turn 10, comes out a little wide, turns it around.
Yep.
And doesn't get it rolled up in time, tags the wall just a little bit. Hey, thanks, replay, man. Got to appreciate that one. You know what I mean?
He's earning his money today.
Gotta love him. Gotta love him.
Or at least that king cake that we're going to have.
Hey, I'm hoping to have some of that myself. All right, let's go back to what Phillip is. Phillip now all by himself. 6.3 seconds ahead of his teammate, Brett Elder, in the 30. He's also one of the Apex Predator drivers. But Brett is not sporting the Apex Predator paint job tonight. He has a different paint job. Now maybe, just maybe, we have the paint job. So we're going to do a reload on trading paints. It'll make the cars go white and then color it up again. But that means that he had a pass for position last lap because Ryan Fry was in front of him and now is behind. And Ryan looks to me like he is struggling with the handling on that car. We'll see. He is in P8. He did get ahead of the spinning Richard Wishon, but he looks like he's fallen back a little bit. And that's Michael Mooney in the 88. But I was telling you about Ryan. Ryan works at the same company I do. Great guy. As we see, as promised, the cars go white. And hopefully they'll come back. Come back, come back, come back. There we go.
There we go.
As the car paints download. Now, everybody uses a software company called Trading Paints to put custom paints on their car. And we download those so you can see what they want us to see. Let's see. Here's the 88 Mooney, and he is followed by Gray Welch. Now, Mooney in the Lambo, he is the only one, I think, in the Lambo tonight. Running in P9, doing really good. That's one spot away from that transfer flip at the end of this. We're already on lap number 6. And it looks to me like Ryan has P8 in hand, but I mean, if he dropped in a corner before, he might lose it again. We'll have to see if he stays where he needs to stay. But we'll keep an eye on that one. Mooney in P9. Gray Welch, another new driver. This guy showed up just 3 weeks ago, and he was just getting used to the car. Now, Gray, no, don't get me wrong, Gray has been running in other series. He's been running in other race sims. Assetto Corsa Competizione. He's running a lot of Gran Turismo. So he knows how to race.
Sure.
But it's the first time into iRacing. He joined iRacing just about a month ago. And he's right up here with Mooney already. And he actually did... he had a little incident early on in the previous race, but he finished... I think it was 7th in the last race.
You know, a lot of people don't... and probably the people that are watching have a feeling for this or know someone that talks about it. The difference between the iRacing and any of the other race sims that are out there is just, in my mind, it's
Oh, Mooney slides and saves it. Whoa, what a
but
save.
gives that opportunity for Gray. And
Gray gets by, and he's challenging for it. You don't want to let that go. That was Sean Williams also goes by for P10. Hey, replay man, can we catch that again, maybe?
He's coming around. He's got good control, but it looks like maybe just a little... Did he come around a little hot?
Oh, he hit the curb.
Cut the corner a little too tight.
He hit the curbing.
But congratulations, hats off to being able to save that, keep it on the tarmac, and being able to continue to race. Well done, very well done. It's going to be disappointing for Mooney in the cockpit. I'm sure he's going to be disappointed about where he's at for that, but it allows him to get that moment to reset. I'm sure he'll do well with the rest of the sprint and into the feature race.
Absolutely. Very, very hard concentrating. And it's funny. It's a simulator, right? I mean, it's not like we're really out here in these cars.
But I've got $4 million to throw into a car.
Wouldn't that be great?
Sure.
Tomorrow. Day after, maybe.
Maybe the day after.
I gotta save up.
Okay.
But
I'll stop drinking Coke, and then I'll get one.
Yeah, these guys might save you enough. These guys they're all over it. This is not just fun and games. This is hard racing. These guys are out here pushing as hard as they can.
Yeah, like I was saying, the difference between the simulators The difference in the equipment that is used for these iRacing sims it's night and day difference between any of the other simulators that I'd used before. You take it very seriously, and it can be a lot of fun, and it can reward you with a really good race experience.
Agreed. Who is that? That's Todd Schwartz in the 420. Todd loves painting cars. Todd paints his car every week.
I was going to say,
he's got something
I don't think
new
I've
on
seen
it.
the same paint job within 2 weeks in a row.
Not 2 weeks in a row. So here's Todd. He's got some kind of... I'm sure if I was hip and in the crowd, I would know who that bunny is on the side of his car. But I don't. I don't know.
You know, it almost looks like he's driving a prototype car from the manufacturer when they put all of the funky geographic stuff on it.
That's
or
right.
Geometric.
So you can't tell what the car looks like. That's what it is. That and those gold chrome wheels.
Oh my goodness.
Looking good out there, Todd. Looking good. P15 for Todd. Now this is an interesting one right here. I mean, Jason is always really fast. He was real quick in qualifying, but he's back here in the back. Now, I didn't see what happened to him, but he did go into the pits on lap 2, as well as Joe Fierro. So that tells me that Joe Fierro in the 48, back here in the back, and Jason Rabe made contact. Now there's Josh Bailey, made a pass for 4th spot. Here, that's worth 10 points for Josh.
Getting around Brandon. So is it possible, I mean, every racer has a strategy. 9 times out of 10, people are going after points, but is it possible that
we got a problem. Camera's back to... Hold on. Hold that thought. Did he go off? Yep.
Oh, yeah. Oh, not just off. He hit both sides. That's tough to do.
That is tough to do.
I did that in the last race. Maybe I shouldn't say it's tough to do.
This is Brett Elder at the time holding on to P6 or 7.
Oh.
Boom, bangs into that wall hard. He's going to have to just limp that thing back around for the next couple laps.
That's
See if we can finish it up. Yeah, not good. Let's go up front to our leader and see how Kyle's doing here.
Catch up to live.
Yeah, we're back to live. That was a replay. This is lap 9. He's coming across the line now. He is right behind, which is what I was surprised about. Joe Fierro must have had something happen early on because he and Jason went in the pits for a repair early. Now, the good part is it's only the sprint.
Right.
And if you don't make top 10, nobody past top 10 is getting points. The bad part is he's 17th, meaning he's going to start
the whole way back.
Yeah, in the feature, in the 21 lap feature, he's going to start in the back and have to climb all the way back up through there. So that's going to be a battle and a challenge for those two drivers who are usually right up in the front and in the mix. I wonder if Brandon maybe didn't fight so hard, if Josh was really going after that P4 spot, maybe he didn't fight him so hard to let him go, because as they come back around, it's only 10 points, and when they come back around, they reverse order, and he's going to be back in front of him on the feature.
It's not always about when we have this kind of a setup where we've got a sprint and then a feature, but we invert those top 8. It's not always about what comes out of this race. It's about how it sets you up for the next one.
Right, exactly. So Ryan Fry in 7th. He's definitely going to get a good position coming out of the next one. And Gray Welch, Gray in the number 19, as we are now finishing up lap number 10. This is the final lap. Gray is in that most coveted transfer spot of P8. Now, it's funny because when I'm in that spot, I'm excited to be on the pole.
Yes.
I've done it once. And I managed to hold him off for 1.5 laps. Of course, it was at Spa, so they were really big laps. But it was really fun to lead the first lap. So.
And then they catch you.
Oh, they catch you and pass you as you're going into the Les Combs turn at the end of the straight.
But at least with you, when they pass you, they don't laugh at you. They just say, Ron, coming around. Coming around. When they pass me, it's somewhere more along the line of Todd coming around again.
And again. And one more time.
Which is why I'm playing in the contenders group.
Yeah. There you go. Hey, there you go.
But
I finished fourth. I feel pretty decent about my run.
You did.
I did bounce off the wall, but I kept it. And kept running with it. I didn't stop.
Well, and one of the great things about that contenders group, I know that we've probably got a few people here that are in both, that are involved with both. I know with Mooney was in both, and
yeah, there's quite a few.
So we've got people that'll watch from both sides. The cool thing about that contenders group is that it is tight racing and very, very competitive for its spot, and it allows people really to develop a skill set with these cars and with these tracks, so that they can come into this faster series.
Yeah, the challenge series is definitely a hotter series. These guys.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
These guys are flying. I mean, 2 full seconds faster than what I was doing in the contender race today. And they're just really top-notch guys. Just top-notch racers.
And great guys too.
Yep. So we're going to take a quick break here. We got 3 minutes. Let's see. Well, let's talk about some drivers. We got Kyle Robinson. Talked a little bit about Kyle earlier on. He doesn't get to race every race. From the I don't know what you call it, Midwest East, Tennessee area, I believe. I'm not sure if they call that Midwest.
Yeah, it's Midwest.
But it's not Midwest anything.
Well, it's not the Northland, and it's. I mean, yeah, it's.
It's not the Midwest. It's Tennessee.
It is what
South.
it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, well,
it's the South. It's the west part of the South.
It's the Northwest South.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
there you go.
So he's an incredible driver, really good guy. What's great about Kyle is he not only is a great driver, but he's a great coach.
First race incidents with the new rim. Apparently might do a clutch wasn't set up properly.
That sounds like that's from race control.
Tried to tweak it and everything.
I didn't quite pick it up.
I didn't either.
But that sounded like it was from race control. I am trying to work on the sound so I can actually hear it from
Probably
race
just
control.
you think it's just letting them know they've got about a minute and a half left to.
No, he may have just done a hey, everybody be careful out there.
Oh yeah,
it's a long race, tough to pass.
This is a tough course to pass.
It's tight. It's a real tight racetrack. The long straightaways have hairpins at the end of them, so if you can get a good run on that front stretch, that's probably your best opportunity. But honestly, turns 3, 4, and 5 as you're going up the hill.
Oh,
if you get a good run off of turn 3, you can get by somebody through those S's.
You can,
and it's really high speed and very dangerous, but you can do it.
You have to have the right line. In that earlier race, we saw a couple of times where people were off the line just a little bit, and it cost everything for that particular race.
Yep, it can indeed. So, but Kyle's great. He'll coach, he'll teach, he'll train, he'll give advice.
Yeah, I don't think mine works right either.
He'll send setups out there. Really good guy. Let's see.
You can't get a black flag.
You can't get a black flag during
gridding.
Well, this is practice. There's a warm-up.
Oh, they've got.
I thought I got a pretty good start, and then I looked in my rearview mirror and saw Rich coming like a freight train towards turn 1. Say, well, didn't get as good a start as I thought.
I was trying to be sneaky.
Oh, it worked. The problem is my rearview mirror. I don't have the sides, just the virtual mirror. Well, the flashing lights, the green lights are covering it, so you can't see anything. So it went away, and I looked up. It's like, oh crap! Here comes a car fast. So it's like, better cover off the inside.
Yeah, that's Kyle talking with. That was Rich Hibbs. Rich, also one of our past champions. He won season 5-5 last year, which is our in-between seasons. But it was like an 8-race season we did. Maybe it was less, but we did a whole bunch of races trying to figure out this race format where we do the inverted starts.
Oh,
right.
No.
Pit stop, clear all.
No.
Somebody's not happy. 25
I should
laps.
have wrecked on that last lap.
I think that was great.
Somebody figured
I think
it
that
out.
was great. Figuring out he's in the lead on this race.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I was trying to take it from you, but I had to save that lazy loop there in the last corner.
Let's see who that is. I'm
Forgot
pretty sure.
about the switcheroo.
Yeah, that was great.
That was great.
That was great for
Yeah,
sure.
just send it.
Gray and Mooney.
Yeah.
Well, you've been there.
Oh yeah.
Ray.
Oh yeah. You can always start from the pits. Here we go. Green lights are lit. Green flags ready to drop. Green, and then we're off and running. Gray Welch out front. Ryan Fry did not get a good jump, but,
oh my
but the
goodness.
99 did. And that is Philip
Ape-
Scott from P3 going to jump into the lead right off the start. And
Apex
that,
Predator looking like an Apex Predator.
yes, he is. And that's Josh Baling, who just got right in behind him in the Audi there with another great start. What a jump for those guys. I can tell you that Ryan is not happy about his start. Oh, and there's a bump.
A little bit of contact.
There's a bump, but it looks like no harm, no foul. They're still going.
Sorry, Ryan.
Yeah,
You're good.
that's Brandon. A little, excuse me, sir.
I think you're in my way.
Brandon will get by him clean if he does get by him.
Yeah,
he
will.
won't wreck him to get by him. But this 345 here with the BMWs, nose to tail coming around. The front is the 99. That is a Mercedes of Philip Scott. He's out in the front right now. Josh Bailey in the Audi right behind. Those guys half a second apart, followed by everybody, their dog, and their brother's dog.
Oh my goodness. It is
It's
an
a pile.
absolute mess.
It's a pile. And there he goes. There's Brandon going around for P2. He's going around the side. Can he make it stick? This is opposite corner. Ryan's
Yes,
actually
he
got
does.
the advantage. Oh my goodness. Did you see that
Yes.
pass from Morgan? Morgan gets by
Tucks
as
in
well.
just behind him, right in his draft, and comes right around. That was amazing.
That was a really good move. It's a really good move.
And that's why these guys are where they are in the championship points. They just know how to move their cars into some of those places.
Morgan can do it. Morgan. So here we go across the start finish line. We're going to get our order fixed here as we go by. Philip out front, followed by Josh, Brandon, Morgan, Gray. Shuffle in position. That is Jason, who started near the back. Wow. In the back of the pack. He's coming around. He's trying to get around Kyle. Or that's Rich Hibb. He's trying to get around Rich Hibbs for 5th. 6th. That's incredible. Oh, and there's Richard Wishon. He's one of our new drivers, and man, he is not sure he wants that kind of pressure. But at the same time, he's pushing and going by Ryan Fry.
It's a great place to be.
No, that's Kyle. That's Kyle with the move around the outside, up the S's. What a move from Kyle. That was beautiful.
My goodness.
Yeah, we're going to see some great racing right here. Oh, and there's Rich right on the back of Richard's car. And he's got Jason Rabe in tow, so those when one goes by, either Jason.
Oh, and there it is.
Richard
There it
goes
is.
around. Oh, was
That's
there contact?
hard.
Was there contact there? Because if there was, that's going to be a penalty. We'll see.
I didn't see any contact.
I
but
didn't see it either. But let's try to see if we can catch
kind of in
that.
a transition on cameras.
Let's see if we can catch that at a different angle. I don't think there was.
I think
trying to
it's
get around.
just too hot.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah, he just
yep.
comes around on his own.
Comes around a little
Comes
too
around
hot.
on his own. Nice job, replay, man. Thanks for that. Let's go back to live. Catch up where he ended up. He's way in the back. He dropped back big time.
That's hard.
Yeah, him and Gray both have dropped back. Now, Josh Baling just made a pass for the lead and gets around for P1. The up front is starting to shuffle. Morgan Teggy moves by Brandon Dooley. That's for position. And that moves Morgan into the podium spots into P3. Philip Scott still holding on to P2.
Let's not do that again. Sorry, Rich. No worries.
I wasn't expecting that. I don't think you were either.
Whoa! This is up that
Still
hill
feel
I was
bad.
talking to you about. You go up that hill,
Yeah.
off of turn 3, and
And you can't see anything, and then all of a sudden,
there's a car there. What is he? Where did he come from?
and if there isn't a car there, there's a turn.
Yes, the turns come sometimes faster and harder than the cars. Kyle Robinson, look at this move from Kyle. He's already up to 5th. Now, Kyle won the other race. He started in 8th, and he moved up to 5th spot. Brian started on the front row. He's back to 6th. And Gray started on the front row. Gray has moved back to the back. He's in 15th now out of the 17 drivers. Now, he is trying to get back by, or no, he just got back by Richard Wishon. So he's they're going after Brett next, but Brett is not in front of him. That's Mooney. So Brett Elder has passed Mooney. And Brett Elder is going for another one. Brett in the 30 car.
Trying to come around Alex.
Challenging Alex for P13. Brett doesn't get to race every race. You know, Brett. I don't know if you know this, but Brett is Kiwi. He's actually from New Zealand, and he currently lives in Australia.
No kidding.
So it's like 8 o'clock in the morning over there for him, and he's up early racing. Alex hits the wall, tries. And he doesn't collect anybody. What a lucky, not so lucky move there.
Lucky for everybody else, not so lucky for Alex.
Yeah, that was not good for Alex. Let's. Should we watch that again?
When we do, I think what you'll see is that his rear tire just gets into the grass a little bit, and at these speeds with these kind of cars, with as much torque as they're putting into those rear wheels, there's nothing you can do.
I can't remember what Alex's number is. There we go. I can't rewind and play it if I don't know his number.
There we go.
Here he comes into turn 1. Oh, and he hits the grass.
Yep.
Oh, and he turns just hard angle. Oh, man, what a terrible. And then he just immediately toes. He must have had major damage there. So that was probably not to his liking.
Well, and you know, it's probably smart for him to take that toe, because otherwise he'd be taking a limp around. You know, it's frustrating to sit there in the pits and watch the toe time tick by.
Yes, it is.
But
yes,
it's probably better for him and for everybody else on the track if he does that.
Let's go through the field here. Josh with a 2-second lead over Phillip. But I don't think Phillip's going to hold that position too much longer, as he's in P2 with Morgan breathing down his
Morgan's
neck.
coming at him hard.
Brandon and Kyle all right there in tow. We'll see how well Phillip can do holding them off. This is an extremely hard track to pass. We may have mentioned that before. So we'll see. If Phillip doesn't make a mistake, it's going to be tough. But this is a chance right here. Morgan, if he gets a run, but man, that Merc just takes off up the hill.
Yeah.
I tell you, there's a couple drivers here that I know can do it. It's only lap 5. We're on lap 5 of 25, so there's no rush. You know, when you're in 3rd spot and you're eyeballing P3 or P2, there's no real big rush to get that spot away right away.
And Morgan is an experienced driver. He knows that, but at the same time, when you are in a situation and you are looking at the time counter, the time differential between you and the other guy, you can see that how close you are. It's sometimes really hard to stay patient, to wait for the right time, wait for the right move.
Exactly. And what he sees is he sees Josh pulling away. That's what he sees.
Yeah.
And he doesn't like that. Because then he does, if he can get around Phillip, he's going to try to hunt down Josh for the win.
It's almost like Phillip maybe got a little bit coming from Josh. Hey, hold him back,
Yeah,
will
hold
you?
him back.
Hold him back.
They're not teammates, but they might be right now.
Not that anybody says that kind of stuff or does any convincing at all.
No. Not, well, it's not. You can't hear him on the radio, so. All right, let's go. We're going to try to go through the field and see if anything else happens while we're trying.
You know, it's going to happen someplace else.
I know.
It always
It's
does.
awesome. Lots of action out here. Like I said, Josh up front. There's Phillip in second. Morgan Teggy's in third.
Oh, he's trying. He's not going to make it stick.
Not this time. Brandon is in P4 with Kyle. We've already talked about Kyle right there in P5. Rich Hibbs moving through as well. They're 15 or in the number 15 in P6. Jason Rabe, what a run from the back of the pack up to P7 already.
That's incredible.
Ryan Fry in P8. Now Ryan should be able to hang on to that spot. He was there solid in the end of the. He was in P7 at the end of the sprint, so he should be able to hold on to that spot. But he is currently in P8. He might get lucky if those guys up front get a little anxious.
He's a little bit ahead of enough ahead of Julian that he's probably got a comfortable margin. It's going to be whether or not he makes any mistakes along the way as to whether or not Julian's going to be able to really close that distance.
Right. And Julian's one of the safest, cleanest drivers out there. You won't find a safer driver on the racetrack. He runs,
a real gentleman.
Definitely. Julian hails from England.
Yes, he does.
Currently lives in the U.S. Down in the southeast, Virginia, Carolinas, somewhere in
like
there.
That, yeah.
Really good guy. Works for X-Plane, as you see his. Not sure if I'm supposed to say that. His X-Plane sponsor on the car.
X-Plane and Apex Predator.
There you go. What else do you need?
Between those two, something tells me there's a lot of hunter-killer instinct
Yes,
involved
yes.
in his driving.
I would assume so. Joe Fierro here in P10. Joe running nice and clean and nice and smooth. He moved up from the back of the pack too. Remember, he was also in that lap 1 incident last time around.
Yeah.
So had to come in for a pit at the beginning of lap 2, and now up to 10th, moving up through the field. Sean Williams. Last week he was the leader. I think he still is. Sean, what is your number?
Number 6.
6. Thank you. Thank you, Todd.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm here to help out. I'm not much good for anything else, but I'm here to help out.
And now Sean, really cool guy, Midwest also, but not as southeast as Midwest as the other guys. He might be Ohio or River Valley area.
Yeah.
In that area. But Sean's a great guy. He's leading the Contender Series right now.
Yeah, I was going to say
Contender Series.
this is his second. So he's already been in the car. He's already been driving for about 3 hours.
Yeah, at least 2.5. Yeah, almost 3 hours, I would bet, by the time he's done tonight. But what's cool is Sean has autism speech. You can see it right there on the door. That paint job was made by Todd Schwartz.
Oh, okay.
And Sean has 2 autistic children and is a big proponent of fighting autism and helping everybody understand. That's an off track from Joe.
And he held it all together.
He did hold it together, but that lets Sean move right to the bumper. But look at that. He holds the corner and blocks the entry.
Oh, my goodness.
And takes that hairpin just solid. Stays in that P10
Well
spot.
done. Well done.
Very nicely done. We got cars in the pit lane. Oh, no, they're just blinking. He's blinking. He's gone. Gray has left.
Oh, that's too bad.
Gray has left the server. Not sure why. Sometimes they have computer issues. Sometimes it's something else. But back to the 6. His friend Todd and Sean, good friends. Sean works for a trucking company. I think he's a diesel mechanic or a mechanic of some kind.
Okay.
Really sharp guy. He loves to race, and he's fast. He is fast.
Yes, he is.
And what's great is Sean is the champion of the Contender Series, and here he's fighting for 11th. He's got Brett Elder right behind him and Joe Fierro right in front of him. He is fighting for this position, and he is one of the fastest guys in the Contender Series.
Yeah,
I think that's incredible how competitive this has gotten.
As we were saying before, the Contender Series is a great place for people to learn the sport and learn the skills. And it really demonstrates that if you can learn it there and you can make it work there, you've got other places to go and continue to move up.
Right. And look at this up front, still in line.
Oh my goodness.
Morgan, still behind Phillip, followed by Brandon and Kyle. All right there. Kyle's falling back a little bit. He may be just saving the tires, maybe saving a little fuel. These guys are going to have to pit. They do not have to take tires. But if you notice, Kyle isn't slow because if you notice, over here on the fastest lap time, it's purple on his name.
Yeah.
Which means he has the fastest lap of the race in
Yep.
1:35.8 in race trim. So Kyle's probably playing some strategy games right now and seeing if he can get ahead of these guys come pit exchange. They're fighting hard trying to get these positions. He's laying back, taking care of his equipment, saving it for later in the race. We'll see how that turns out for him. I would think that's going to work in his favor. Julian in 9th. We went to Joe, Sean, and Brett. Julian's counterpart, but not with the paint tonight, and not even with the car. He's running an Audi instead of the Merc. That's probably why he's a different paint job on it. But Brett in 12th. And Mooney, we've already talked to him, popped in on his ride tonight a little bit. Those fancy chrome rims he's got on that Lambo. And he's running the I think we're not futuristic paint. What are we?
That looks like it's a literature paint. That looks like it's is that Knights jousting on that thing?
Yeah, he's got jousting and he's got like a little Don Quixote look on the side.
I was gonna say it makes me think of that
88's a
Don
windmill,
Quixote.
right? 88 looks like a windmill on the side. I think he means it's Sir. Is it Maligan? It's on the windshield.
I couldn't see it clear enough.
Yeah, He's got a special paint. There's a competition going on, and that's when he's got that paint. Beautiful job painting that car. He takes so much time. He actually custom makes the whole paint.
Wow.
He makes the stripes. He makes the he puts the logos on, and he has a little bit of a computer internet issue, which you can see makes the car blink in and out. Now these guys are in their homes. Everybody's home, right? I mean, these guys are racing. Here comes lap 9. This might be a little early for pits, but if Todd started with low fuel, he might have this time to fill it up now and make it to the end.
I was gonna, yeah, it kind of depends on how much fuel you've been using. We didn't have very many of the BMWs in our other race, and so as we were talking about how cars were using fuel, and in the previous race, in the contender race, everybody had enough fuel to go the entire race. With this one being a little bit longer, maybe he's coming in to top off now so that he doesn't have to worry about it later on.
Strategy does play a factor. There is enough fuel in these cars to make one pit stop during the race, and they're forced to make a pit stop. They can't go all the way. Even running in fuel save mode, they can't go all the way on one time. So if they did, they'd be going so slow that they wouldn't make anywhere near the top 10.
So if this strategy pays off, I mean, this could be an early roll of the dice, but it could really pay off well.
It could. Everybody has to pit. Everybody has to take fuel. Because he put less fuel in the car early, he has to sit in the pits longer waiting for that fuel.
Yeah.
So it might take him an extra second. So he might lose that. Getting the undercut really does work. You cool your tires down a little bit. You get back on the track. You get going, and you try to run fast laps on the out lap. But he's not alone. He is not alone because look who else is in there. That is Brett Elder in the pits as well. And see, Richard went in early on lap 6, but that was from his damage. And Alex also spun. Gray is back out there. It looks like Gray dropped out and came back. Now back to 17th, but I think that was from an incident. He had to go in. He probably had to tow.
There you go.
He may have dropped the server, or it's very possible, because it is home at your own computer, he could have lost the internet connection.
Yeah, it's happened. We've seen that happen.
It happens a lot. I mean, Mooney, you can see him blinking a little bit. That means he's not quite synced up with the server, with the race server. So when he does lose that sync, it pops him off the screen.
And so frustrating for the drivers when you're trying to work with that. We had a situation in one of the races I was in where I was having one of the best races that I think I'd had, and my computer just shut off.
That is true. I remember that day. That was.
I said not nice words.
Not a good day.
They were not bad words. They were just not nice words.
Yeah. It's all perspective. It's all about perspective.
They weren't Mooney words, but they were close. They weren't Uncle Don words, but they were close.
So Brett has gone into the pits. He's given up P12 to Mooney, and he's currently in P13, still ahead of Richard Wishing. When they go across the stripe this time, the update will come through. We've got Kyle Robinson. See, I was telling you, Kyle was playing some strategy games. He is now in the pits getting his fuel here on lap 11.
And again, now that they see people starting to go in, the leaders are going to stay out. They're going to try and make as much distance as they can. But as everybody else is coming in, saying to themselves, "All right, this is my chance. When those leaders come in, I'm going to have fuel. I'm going to be able to run. Maybe it's my chance to get out in front."
Right. Well, and the other thing, if you did fill up, if you filled up all the way, but now you can make it the rest of the way on fuel, you don't have to put as much fuel in. All you have to do is top it off and go.
Yeah. Well, but the other thing you have to think about too is that it changes the dynamics of the car. The cars run a little different with a full tank of fuel that they will toward the end. Whether or not racers have a good handle on their car, as that changes, could also make a big difference in the way things play out.
Yes, absolutely. And you don't think about that thinking it's a game. It's a video game. Well, sorry folks, it's not a video game. It's a simulator.
This is a simulator.
So with the fuel load and the fuel load changing, you will definitely have things change. Now, what that was a pass for position. Did Morgan win the pits? He did. Morgan went into pit lane. So Morgan has taken his stop and given up third spot to Brandon. Now this is when everybody starts thinking. Kyle's been in. Kyle should be back out. Why is he dropping back in the field? Did he have a problem? Car looks clean. He's not in turn 1. Maybe. Oh, those guys are just coming across the line.
Yeah. It's just resetting.
Yeah,
It's resetting and reshuffling.
Yep, because they haven't crossed the line. All right, that makes sense. So Kyle back to P12 off that stop. That's how close the competition is.
It's just
He's in the pits
tight.
for, these guys are making 30 seconds. Like an average pit stop is 30 seconds. And in 30 seconds, he goes from 5th to 12th.
It's insane at how tight it is. But the other side of that is he did it early.
Yep.
So as other people are going in and taking their 30 seconds, he's probably thinking to himself, it's okay. It's okay.
He's gonna try to
race
stop.
clean, I'll be right back to where I was before.
He may have had another issue. He's back down to 14th. Behind Brett Elder, who already made a stop. And he was way ahead of Brett. We may have missed something there. He's behind Brett now by about 8 seconds. And
It's a big gap.
yeah, he must have had a problem. Oh, look at Kyle's pit time. Look at that. Minute 10. You know what that equals? That equals
lap.
That equals 40 seconds too long. You know what that means? Speeding in pit lane.
Oh, yeah,
He
you're
came
right.
in a little too hot. And he was most likely speeding through pit lane, and he got himself a penalty.
Little things.
Oh, man.
Little things. You know, we
So
said it
close.
We said it at the beginning of the race. It's all about concentration and staying focused in these kind of situations. And it doesn't have to be much. If it's 1 mile an hour over, it's 1 mile an hour over, and
Right.
you are serving a penalty.
Look at this, though. Brandon goes in the pits in 3rd and comes out behind Sean Williams. So he went from 3rd to 9th, and he did not serve a 40-second hold penalty.
Everything's tight. Everything's
So,
tight.
yeah. Kyle's going to be kicking himself because he was playing the strategy, trying to get ahead of those guys on a little undercut strategy, and now look where he is.
Yeah.
He's way in the back.
Well, it can be the good it can be the right strategy, but poorly executed.
Until it doesn't work.
The Porsche loves you until it kills you.
Until it kills you. That's what happened. He probably lost it coming into the pit lane, slid sideways, little speeding penalty, everybody's happy. Goes home with a Porsche. And not a win. Now this is an interesting development. This is up front. Now we are 14 laps in. We're going to finish up lap 14 here. Now these guys are... Yeah, they're on start finish.
Yep.
So this is the finish of lap 14. And Philip Scott has pulled in right behind, now just 0.2 of a second behind Josh for the lead of this race. Neither one of these guys have pit yet. And Jason should move up to 3rd as he crosses the line. There he goes.
There he goes.
And then Ryan up to 4th. Julian up to 5th. These guys haven't pit yet. You see Brandon start to fall down the order. But here he comes. He's right behind Sean. I said he'd be in 9th, and then he ends up, as he comes across the line, he's actually in 7th. Ahead of Morgan Tangy. Well, the action's hot up front. The action's hot in the middle. The action's hot in the back. It's a great race.
You know, you remember, and can the viewers?
Ooh, Morgan got back by. That's Morgan in front of Brandon. Should we see if we? I don't know when it happened.
Yeah, it could have happened a while back.
I see the 14 and the 07 behind him. Am I off live? No, I'm live. That looks wrong to me. Yeah, the 07's back here. That is Sean, and he did come out. Oh, this is Sean. Sean not happy with that. Let's catch that one.
Looks like he just overcooked it a little bit coming into the corner.
He is coming around. Oh, he's coming up the hill. This is turn 3 through the S's. He probably doesn't get enough brake on when he comes down the hill. He hits a curb. Oh, and hits hard. Hits the wall hard. That's going to drop Sean back. Luckily he hasn't pit yet, so if he can limp it back around to the pits, he will be able to. He will be able to come in and make his pit stop and not lose too much but definitely not what he wanted.
Oh no, not his. That's a rough moment for the rest of his day. Looks like he's going to make it back okay, but
Yeah, very, very rough. Now that does advantage Brandon. Brandon came out in 7th. That's why I was confused, because Joe Fierro in the 48, he has the same paint job as the 07.
oh, there we go.
They're
Okay,
teammates on
okay.
Fueled by Malt Racing. And he came in the pits. He came when Morgan came out, when Brandon came out of the pits, he was right behind Joe. So when I saw the car that looked like this car right in front of Morgan, I was confused, because on the track it shows Morgan's behind Brandon. I was like, this ain't right. Something ain't right. So Josh out front. Philip did have a charge there for a little while, but these guys have not yet pit. And here is the trick. Let's see, Jason hasn't pit yet. Ryan hasn't pit yet. Oh, and here goes our
Josh.
leader.
So Philip's gonna.
There's our leader. Philip takes
Philip's
over the
gonna
lead. And Jason in the 2 car. We'll see if he comes in. He's coming around the final corner now. Also coming in. Teammates with Josh.
I question that strategy that Philip's got. You know he's going to be out. He's going to get that extra 30 seconds, but he's going to have to come in,
He has to
do his own pit,
Right.
and he's going to have to surrender that time again.
Yeah, but Ryan and Julian are also out there still running. So, and they're still going. They have both gone by pit lane. So he's not alone out there. But I don't think. I mean, Ryan's 23 seconds off the lead, so I don't think that's going to be a factor.
Well, and he's run 17 laps, so he's got 8 more laps to go. Maybe he's gonna take just a smaller amount of fuel, splash it in a little quicker, and feel like he's going to be able to make up the time, because he's not going to stay there quite so long.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's definitely a strategy, and that's. I mean, when you're that close, when you see the top 5 drivers all within a couple seconds, a second in the pits might be the difference between first and fifth.
Yes, indeed.
So we'll see how this plays out.
And looking at their lap times are all so close.
Yeah.
It's going to be really interesting to see how this all comes down in the end. I think it's going to come down to somebody. If it isn't held together, if somebody makes a mistake, that's going to be the thing that's going to shuffle things out.
Now we saw these guys up front. Now Josh was in the lead when he went in the pits. But look at Brandon, who came in the pits, got clean racetrack, did some good clean laps, and now has Josh behind him. So as these guys make their stops, as Philip does come in, Philip is in the pits. So that'll put Brandon ahead of Morgan, and Jason is behind them. So this might put Brandon in the lead. When they come by the line, I believe this is going to put Brandon in the front, because there goes the 616 and the 145 into the pit lane. That is the final cars in the pits, and there he goes. There he goes, Brandon to the lead, 0.8 of a second ahead of Josh Bailing. Now, Philip did stop, and he's right out in front of him. Now, Philip played the game, and he pulled out right in front of these guys. There they are.
That's amazing.
So he played his fuel strategy. Worked great. If he got enough fuel.
If he got enough fuel. we not that we've ever seen that go wrong. Have we?
Oh, never has.
Wait. Never mind. Never mind. We won't.
I think
we
all
won't
of us
talk about that today.
I think all of us have run out of fuel at one point or another.
Yeah.
So Morgan's going to move up here to P4. Rich Hibbs to P5. And I realize these aren't in the order that you're seeing them on the screen, because the pit stops are still ongoing. Ryan and Julian have just made their pit stops on lap 18. They're the last ones with Philip to make their stops, but they are out behind these guys. Jason Rabe in the 2 car is ahead of Julian and Ryan. So Ryan is going to be in, I believe that puts him in 7th when everything cycles through. We'll see after they go
cycles in.
They're going to go by this time. Everyone now has made their stop in the top 13 at least. And we'll see where everybody rolls around. I have a feeling that our order is now going to be right here, 1, 2, 3. Philip, Brandon, and Josh. Now, tell me this. 3 different manufacturers covering the top 3 spots. And we're 19 laps in. We're starting lap 19 of 25. and 3 different manufacturers right up there on the top. That's awesome.
That's fun to see, and
Yeah.
it's one of the things that you always wonder about as you come into each track. Some cars perform better on different kinds of tracks, whether it's because of the undulations that are going to be going on. If you've got a lot of up and down, if it's going to be a little bit more flat, if the corners are going to be tighter. But to see 3 different manufacturers all within a second
Yeah.
of each other.
Yeah. Yeah, 1.3 from first to third. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
looking at really a driver's race rather than a manufacturer's race.
It's really a fun, this East to West Racing is a lot of fun. Now, East to West Racing, sister league to Last Man Standing Motorsports, started from Last Man Standing, which actually started from an old group years ago. I've been racing with these guys now for 3 or 4 years. It's actually been it's been over 3 years now. But having a blast. I love racing with these guys. I actually did just race the contender race with you just a few minutes ago, just an hour ago. But
I beat the pants off me too.
Well, you don't race as much as I do. So.
No, that's true.
I've been trying to improve my game, pick it up. I think these next 2 races, I'm going to stay here in the booth this week and next week for the challenge race because of the great action we have. And being able to do this as the broadcast, I think is a lot of fun.
I think so too, and hopefully those that are tuning in enjoy it as well. Flipping back to Todd Schwartz again, and Sean back on the track.
Yeah.
Sorry, Gray.
Good
All
to
good,
see.
man.
Gray. I just called Gray's number. Somebody said sorry, but it looks like he's a lap down. So maybe Jason got a little tight there on the exit of turn 14. Don't really know what happened there. But this battle up front is not over. This is not over. We are now within 1.9 seconds first to third.
Oh my goodness.
We're on lap 20. We're just finishing up. Well, not really. They're in turn 9. Turn 9, in my opinion, the trickiest corner on the racetrack. It's a really super tight, near hairpin right-hander.
Yeah.
It's not quite a hairpin, so you drive in a little faster than you think. And it's so easy to overshoot that corner and go wide, and you just lose all your momentum going into 10.
And if you don't overshoot it, or if you overshoot it, then you find yourself very, very quickly making friends with the fence.
Yeah, well, the catch fence is there for a reason. That's to catch you. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say to ruin your day, because sometimes that happens
Well,
too.
if it was a real car, it would save your life.
That's true.
So let's count it for what it is. This is a simulator.
It is a simulator.
It saved that virtual driver's life.
The one of the things that I have loved about iRacing, and maybe we talk about it a little bit too much, but this is something that is, and maybe we haven't talked about it at all really here. This is something that allows people like you and I that have loved auto racing our entire lives, but are not in a position to be able to buy a car, even an inexpensive car, and go out and race on a regular basis. But we still get the opportunity to be able to race with some great individuals with some great talent and do it in some wonderful cars, simulated, granted, but they behave very much like these cars.
And just so much fun to be out there in the car, on the track. I mean, you don't get the full experience from the simulator because you're in your basement or your living room or whatever.
This is true.
But still, being able to get out there and do the laps and run that track is just all kinds of fun.
And a whole lot cheaper.
Oh
my word!
Battle's getting tight. Alex tries to let him go. He goes wide in turn 1 and lets him go. That is for position for P12. That's for P12. That's Mooney and Richard Wisham. Now, Richard was up front early, had a little issue, dropped back in the back, and now is just pounding the back bumper of that Lamborghini.
Mooney checked up. He held back just enough to not get into him. So
yeah, well, that's not as good as this one. There's Josh trying to get by for second spot around Brandon. That one's for P2. Josh looks to the inside, but nothing doing.
Putting his nose in there, and Brandon's closing the door on him, saying, "No, no, no, this is not where you belong."
Some good racing all through the field here. I really like this battle here with Richard and Mooney. This is... Oh, and look, he gets alongside, coming around the inside of turn 10.
And he's going to make it
stick. He takes
stick.
this position, but look... Mooney slips. He tried to do the over-under, and he just lost it. Couldn't make it stick. Couldn't get that back. So Richard Wishon takes over P12.
Good driving for a young driver and relatively new driver.
Yeah. He's a really good kid. So, some of these guys we got in the league, really a lot of fun. How nice everybody is, how polite everybody is, respectful. I mean, East to West Racing has started out, when it first started out, had three rules. All those other rules that you have, all the other stuff we talk about, didn't have them. In the beginning, it was 3 rules. Respect the other driver. Rule 2, if anything happens, refer to Rule 1. And Rule 3, if you're making it so it's not fun for somebody else, you'll be asked to leave.
Wow.
And that was it.
Yeah.
That was the rules. That's how we race. And we did have to add some rules because we brought in race control. So we had to say, if you're in this position, when you go into a corner, you don't have the spot, you can't nosedive, you can't... Okay, great. But isn't that just respecting the other driver?
Yes.
Isn't that really all that is? So when you get to that spot, as we're going to watch another pass here, as you get to that spot in the competition, the goal is to not offend the other drivers. Race clean, race hard. There's no reason not to race as hard as you possibly can. Look at this block. That awesome block from Julian. He goes way out to the outside to block Kyle, but Kyle's going to probably get him on this run to the start-finish.
He really wants that spot.
Kyle going for P8 here, taken away from Julian.
And Julian has to go in.
Julian is... Nope, he pulls over. He pulls over, drag races down the front stretch, and Kyle gets by. That looks like it's going to be P8 for Kyle. Yeah, there he goes. And this one here is another battle that's tight. Joe Fierro still hounding. No, that was Brett. Just got by him.
Brett Elder got by him.
Just got by. Brett was hounding Joe and just got by. So 2 passes at the same time. Sorry, only got to cover 1.
It's a testament to the quality of the racing that goes on. Nobody's giving up. Nobody's letting go. Everybody wants to be wherever. Everybody wants to be one up.
Even Gray, that lost 3 laps early on for whatever reason, he lost. He either had to go to the pits or he lost his internet connection. He is right back out there, 3 laps down.
Yeah.
But still cranking. Still pushing hard. Alex hasn't had the night he wanted. Alex...
Yep, thanks, Todd.
In the 79 car. As we see Todd Schwartz move out of the way for the leaders. Let them go by. He is now a lap down. And somewhere you can see that when it comes up on the right-hand side there, it'll tell you. After top speed shows, you got to know who's fastest out there. It looks like Brandon's the quickest.
Bing, 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 bing.
And Sean Williams with the 158 mile an hour down that front stretch as well.
Philip, Brandon, and Josh still
right there.
Still
right there, nose to tail, still there. Now, yeah, Alex has not had the night he wanted. He's a lap down now.
We saw his original incident that put him in this situation, but to stay with it, to continue to race, I mean, it's good to see. It's good to see.
All these guys are like that. That's what I was saying about the league and respecting each other and racing hard and racing clean. It's really a lot of fun to have as a group of guys racing.
Years ago, you and I raced. We were doing GT.
Gran Turismo.
GT, yeah. And we were playing around with that when internet racing was just kind of a new thing. Tried to do that with joysticks.
Whenever we got online, we got smoked.
Man, it was awful.
We did have the wheels and pedals though.
We got wheels and pedals, and
I remember that birthday present for you. I think it was my backup set.
I think it was, and I used it. I used it religiously.
You
for
probably
quite some
still
time.
have it.
I do, and I still have the workbench that I bolted it all to as well.
I love it.
But things have changed so much. They've gone so far, and finding
look at this.
a community that makes this work.
Look at the oh Brett, no. Brett spins out. Let's see if we can catch that. I was going to say that battle right there was really tight. There's the 2 of them together. Got that guy. think I went back too far. Well, Brett,
We'll see what we can
obviously
see.
Joe got back by, but while we were replaying this, 28 Kyle Robinson moves ahead of Ryan Fry. That's P7 now. So after his mistake was 42nd holding the pits, he's back up into the points, into good points.
That's just easy.
Thanks, Todd.
Oh yeah, this is way better.
There it is. There it is.
Just loses it.
Yep.
Just loses it. Yeah, well,
Like we were talking about, you run the risk of losing all your momentum when you go into that.
yeah, you have to be real careful.
We're on
Yeah.
lap 25 now.
This is it. Final lap. Let's go back up to the leaders and see
Thanks,
how they're
Todd.
doing. Brandon right on the back. It's still 1 second. 1, 2, 3. Philip Scott, Brandon Dooley, Josh Bailey, Morgan Teggy is 7 seconds back off of these guys. So
this is we're looking at the 1, 2, 3.
this is it. This is the podium, and here they go across the start-finish line for the win. Philip Scott is going to finish it off.
What a great
good race,
gamble!
Phil.
Great gamble that he took in the pits.
Yep.
He made it pay off. He
Like a
made it
robot
stick
there.
the whole way through. Well done.
Yeah, we'll
Nice
see if we
run,
can
Josh.
get some chat here from the guys. See if we can get them to come up to the booth. Hey, great race, guys! From the booth, can you guys top 3 come up to Big Wizard TV, please? When you get a minute, we'll jump out of there and let them chit chat after the race is over. But, hopefully, they'll see Big Wizard TV up here and see us in here. Hey, it's us! Hey guys! Hey, hi mom!
Is your mom watching? Your mom's not watching.
No,
My mom's not watching.
not tonight.
Yeah, no. maybe their mom.
Maybe their mom.
Maybe their mom.
Could be.
Yeah, could be.
Well,
Could
we
be.
only have 2 viewers, and they didn't say anything at all during the race. So I'm guessing it was 2 of our drivers.
You know, something tells me they've been sitting there saying to themselves, "I could do better than these guys."
Yeah, I can race better than these guys. Great race! What a run! What a run tonight for the win. Philip Scott, 2nd place. Brandon Dooley, Josh Baling takes 3rd. Morgan Teggy in 4th spot. And he is going to be followed by Rich Hibbs in 5th, Jason Rabe, Kyle Robinson in P7, Ryan Fry P8, Julian Lockwood in 9th, Joe Fierro in the 48 car. He comes in P10, 11th, Richard Wishon, Brett Elder in 12th, Michael Mooney 13th, Sean Williams in 14th in the 6 car, and Todd Schwartz in 15th. Alex Good, followed by Gray Welch, rounding out the field. 17 drivers started, 17 drivers finished. And this one is in the books. We'll see if we can get these guys to jump up into the booth and say a few words about the race. Hopefully they can do that. We'll find out. As we'll roll some scenic views here of the track of Circuit Park Zandvoort for a few minutes, and hopefully we'll get some peeps in here to talk to about the race. Todd has left the building. Not really, he's just upstairs. But we'd love to talk to the guys post race, get a little chat. Maybe not. There's Josh.
Hey.
Hey, Josh, how's it going tonight?
Oh, man, it was good until the pit stops.
Oh, yeah, a little strategy play there, huh?
I guess I'm just slow on pit entry, or I take too much fuel. I don't know.
Yeah, that was. You guys were all real tight. I mean, going into the pit lane, or going in through pit exchange, you were a couple seconds in front. It was amazing how much Philip caught right there before the pits, though. He caught back up with you and made it pretty tight right before pit exchange. But
yeah, there was some fatigue setting in there.
Yeah, it was a really good race. Brandon, when you went through the pits, I actually thought you were going to take the lead. Didn't realize that Philip had such a short pit. He came right back out right in front of you.
Yeah, it was really close. I wasn't sure where it would fall, and I didn't have any time. I wasn't watching any of my overlays to see what everybody was doing for stops, so...
You had some good laps in there between your pit trying the undercut. You almost got it. It looked to me, I mean, I saw
It
Philip.
worked for 3 of the 4.
Yeah. Josh, I saw Philip catch you right before, like, around lap 15. And at that point, to me, it looked like he couldn't get by you. Like, passing is really hard.
Passing is impossible unless somebody screws up somewhere.
Okay. All right. So once you guys got out in that 1, 2, 3 order, that was pretty much decided through the pits.
Yep, it was just waiting for somebody to make a mistake.
Yeah, I think I had one chance. I could have sent it down the inside in turn 1, but I didn't want to risk the whole race on.
I'm guessing
one position, you know.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you were on a higher downforce than what I was, so I was having to slow up extra into some of those higher speed entry corners to get the car to go around. So my guess was you were a click or two higher on some rear wing or something than what I was running.
Yeah, I couldn't gain anything on the straight, even in the close toe. I was like,
as long as I could kind of block and be in the inside, I could keep the corners. But yeah, like especially into 1, I was having to brake so early to not shoot right through it. But
yeah,
and thankfully you were coming up because our brake points were quite a bit different. So there was a few times I'm like, he's gonna hit me.
Yeah, I didn't want to repeat some of our previous incidents.
Yeah,
so I was like,
no, it was all good. Yeah, it was all good.
Yeah. Well, it was great. We Todd and I here in the booth tonight. We called the race from the Big Wizard TV studios, and it was a lot of fun. We'll do it again next week. So if you guys want to let people know, we'll have some live commentators out next week as well. Yeah, thanks again for a great show tonight, guys. You guys really put on a great race. Congrats on the podium finishes, and we'll gladly see you guys on the next race.
Yeah, appreciate it. Big congrats to Phil.
Yeah,
that was a
thanks.
clean race from him.
Yeah, good job for all 3 of you. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Well done, guys.
Thanks. Have a good one.
Well, there it is, folks. There's the finish. That's the end. We have Philip Scott didn't come up in the booth, unfortunately, to chat with us, but won the race clean all night. Brandon, Josh came up and talked for a little bit. They said no way to pass, just no possibility to pass unless the guy in front made a mistake. And
Yep.
so the pit exchange and that timing we were talking about, that strategy and those overcut laps, that's what did it.
Yeah.
Philip with the overcut and Brandon with the undercut got them into first and second. And that was it. Nobody could get around him.
We talked about it at the beginning that it was going to revolve around somebody making a mistake, opening up an opportunity, and when you've got 3 racers that are just so focused, keeping concentrated, not making mistakes, they just have to race where they're at.
Yep, and wait for the other guy to either make a bobble or
just
finish where you're at. It was interesting because Josh even said, he's like, well, he could have dove in a couple times. At least one time he said he had a run and he could have tried to get on the inside, but didn't really want to risk making the mistake, making the contact, getting the black flag, because you know what? A drive-through on this would have been 15 seconds, maybe 20 seconds, and he would have dropped back to 5th or 6th.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Smart move. Well, hey, everybody. Thanks again for tuning in. Ron here with Todd from Big Wizard TV. We're happy to be out here doing the broadcast. Big shout out to our sponsors. Big thanks to Stair Fittings Incorporated, Grandpa'sKitchen.com, J&R Craftworks, and Dragonfire Artistry for helping us all out here at Big Wizard TV. As I always say, do not race on the road. Be safe out there. Go home to your family. People want you to come home. They really kind of like you. Well, some of us like you. But don't race on the road. Be safe. Race on the track. And you know what? If you don't have a local track, you don't have $500,000 to go race on it, race here with us. Our iRacing's not that expensive. Every Sunday night, GT3s, there's a rookie, or we call it the Contender Series.
The Contender Series.
It's basically a starter series, right? I mean, rookies can get in there. You can buy iRacing tonight. Make sure you tell them I told you that I'll get the $10.
No, tell them I told you. Tell them I told you. I need it more. I've got more tracks to buy.
You do have more tracks to buy.
I do have more tracks to buy.
But race here on iRacing with us. East to West Racing, great place to learn, to race, to have fun, and we love it. We love racing with the guys out here, and we'd love to have you. So hit us up here on Twitch. You can catch us over on tv.bigwizard.com on YouTube. We'll have that. We'll have the race replay and this replay again up on YouTube tomorrow. So thanks again. Have a great night. Be safe, and keep the wheels on the bottom. Good night, all.
Down.
Rubber side down. You got it. Light them up.